Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Delana and you are watching Brwngirlluxe. If you have not already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Also, turn on that notification bell so you do not miss any of my uploads. Today we are talking about how you can afford luxury items without going into debt. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Now y'all, this is a video that I have wanted to film for some time, but I really wanted to grow my channel just a bit because I really want to make sure that, you know, this video reaches as many people as possible. There are so many like theories and thoughts behind those that buy luxury designer items, and I'm just here to say that just because people carry like a nice handbag or they buy a nice pair of shoes doesn't mean that they, you know, are balling out of control. Doesn't mean that, you know, they are not, you know, doing the right things with their money. Again, it's just material items, but at the same time, if you want material items, that is totally up to you. No one else can tell you what you should and should not like. If you enjoy designer items, it's totally up to you if you're gonna make those purchases, because look, it's your life and it's something you're gonna have to pay for and live with. But the purpose of this video is really to just kind of discuss how you can avoid going into debt in buying luxury designer items. Now, me personally, I do not like buying designer items when I do not have the money available. When I say that, what I mean is if I have the cash readily available and I decide to use a credit card in store because maybe, you know, on my Amex I get a bunch of points, or maybe there's like a cashback opportunity, that's cool. But if I do not have the money in my bank to pay that right back or pay it by the time that bill comes out, I am not buying that designer item. Now, I know some other people are like, well, you'll pay it off. Listen, when you're buying items that you do not need, you do not want to pay interest. You don't want to pay extra fees. Like, that is just not what you want to do when you're buying something designer. When I get that designer piece, I want to walk out of that store and know I had the money to pay for it. I didn't have to put it on credit. I didn't have to do this and do that to get it. I have the money, so I'm grabbing it. That's all, that's it, okay? So if you are someone that is going out and buying designer and putting it on, you know, every charge card that you have, possibly going to affect your credit down the road, I'm here to say it's not worth it, okay? I love designer pieces, but I also know that just because I have, you know, $8,000 available on my credit card, I'm not going to the Chanel store today. And that's how we all need to think, because again, these are items that you don't need. These are all just things that we want and want to have, but we don't need them. So what I've done is I've kind of broken this up into a couple of different categories of things I want to talk about in order to kind of let you know ways to get these items without going into debt. So I have my phone here because I do have all of my little notes, and obviously I'm not going to remember everything, so I will have this to reference to. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about is determining the item that you want to get. Now, when you decide what you're trying to get, think about your current income, your current lifestyle, and what sacrifices you're going to even be willing to make to get this item. So back in 2016, when I bought my first luxury handbag as an adult for myself, I think I, you know, looked at my situation and said, you know what, based on my free money, so when I say free money, that means after all of my bills are paid, after all of my expenses are taken over, what have been taken out, what's left over after that? So for me, at that time, based on my financial situation, I knew that I could not spend more than $1,000 on my first bag. It was a Christmas gift to myself, and that $1,000 mark, girl, that was it. And I could not go a penny over, because at the end of the day, I don't want any debt. I don't want to, you know, stop doing 10 things to get this bag, especially if it's not something that I truly need. This is just something I wanted, so I was willing to make some sacrifices to get it. So I would say the first thing you're gonna do is really consider your income. If you're making, let's just say, you know, $45,000 a year, and your expenses, car note, rent, everything totals out to be, let's just say $20,000 a year, and then you have other expenses, you may have a child, you may have other things going on, buying a $5,000 handbag may not seem like the most like appropriate choice, right? If that's the salary you're making, you need to think about, hey, with the money I have at this moment, what is a handbag I can afford? In my opinion, just depending on what your financial situation is, starting out, you don't have to get the most expensive luxury item. The reason I'm saying that is because once you get that first item, you're probably gonna find yourself wanting more. And if that's the case, you don't want to, you know, spend your whole year budget on that one item. Maybe you want to say, okay, in 3 months time, I can save $1,000 for whatever I want to get. So that first item should be $1,000 and that's it. We should not be going and buying something that's $2,000 and $3,000, because if you only save for 3 months $1,000, how are you going to get the rest of the money? You're going to put it on credit, right? No, do not put it on credit. If you have $1,000 to spend, let that be your limit. Do not fall into the trap when you get to the store. You want to tell, you know, the SA or whoever's helping you, yeah, I have a little bit of a budget. Show me what's in this price range. If you have not already done prior research, I'm sure if you walk in the store and tell them, hey, I only have $1,500 to spend today, they're not going to show you the $3,000 item. If they do, then you can kindly say, look, my budget is $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever the case may be. Take me to that section of the store. Otherwise, anything else, it's in one ear and out the other, because at the end of the day, you do not have the money for that. So then, as I spoke about the free money, so free money to me is truly money that is unaccounted for, meaning it does not have to go to your grocery, you know, bucket. It doesn't have to go into your, you know, you get your hair done once a month. Free money is just that. It's free money, meaning it's money that is not being used for anything else. So if you are having every month in free money, $300 to $400, and you're deciding, okay, that's what I'm gonna save to get my handbag, that's perfectly fine. Keep saving that up and allowing yourself time to build it up and get the money together, so that way when it's time to buy the item, you will have it in full and you don't have to worry about swiping any card. Now, the second thing that we're going to talk about is just determining how fast you want the item, right? So obviously, if you're saving for something and you want it in a certain amount of time, you're going to have to like maximize your savings. So if you're saying you want $1,000 item in 3 months, that means you need to be saving on average $330 something a month. Where are you going to get that from if you only have free money of, let's just say, $250? So that means you're coming up short. So what I would suggest is, if there are anything, you know, in your monthly like budget, if there is something that you do not have to do, remove that from your budget. So let's just say you budget every month $200 to go out. Well, maybe for that 3 months while you're saving for your handbag, you don't go out for those 3 months. Now, that may be hard for some people. Now, for me personally, I'm a homebody. So if someone tells me I have to stay home for 3 months in order to get something I want, I'm okay with that. And also, you know, depending on your age may take consideration. I lived my 20s to the fullest. I am 34. So for me to sit home for 3 months, let me tell you right now, it's not hard. Now, maybe in my 20s, it would have been hard to say I'm staying home for 3 months, you know, for 3 months, not going anywhere. That would have been a bit tough. But at 34 and someone that's traveled a nice bit, someone that's gone out to the clubs, did this, did that, look, I'll stay home for those 3 months. So, you know, sacrificing when you want luxury designer items and you're just a regular working person, that's a big deal. And I know that when people hear sacrifice, they're like, so wait, what I gotta do to get this? If it's something you truly want, sacrificing is not hard. I will tell you a little example of like how things work for me when I first started buying luxury. So in that first year when I was saving for my Louis Vuitton bag, You know, before I got married and got with my husband, I was someone that ate out a lot. And each week I started adding up what I spend to eat out. And I'm just like, I spend a lot of money to eat out. I spend a lot of money. So for me personally, one of my sacrifices was cutting back on eating out and taking my butt to the grocery store and buying groceries. Now, for a lot of us, that's hard because we're on the go. We don't really want to cook. We don't want to deal with this or deal with that. But I'm here to say, if you're spending a couple $100s on a week on food and you're one person, you're spending too much, because you can spend $100 at the grocery store and that may cover you for 2 full weeks if you're a single person. So if you're spending $100 out to eat and you need to find extra money to put up for your luxury item that you really, really, really want, girl, stop eating out. And I know it's hard. I know it sounds like the worst thing in the world, but when you really want something, you are going to sacrifice. That comes in many different levels. If you want success, maybe you're sacrificing a little bit of sleep every now and again. You know, if you're wanting to be the top person in the company, maybe you are working longer hours. So sacrifice comes with many things. Again, it's totally a choice. You do not have to sacrifice to get luxury items because you don't have to get them. You are not required to have them. But if you truly want those things and financially you can't just wake up every day and head to LV or Chanel, then you may have to make a few sacrifices. So another suggestion I have for you all to just go ahead and be able to get luxury items and things that you really want, you can always go the pre-loved route. Now, I will say pre-loved, I feel like you can get some deals, but then I also feel like some stuff is really, really overpriced. So pre-loved market is really great for those that, you know, are really trying to get into luxury pieces, want to get a feel for it. Maybe you only have, let's say, $500 to $600 to spend, and the only place you can get something for that price point is Fashion File or Poshmark or something like that. I'm not against it. Obviously, do your research to make sure you're getting authentic items. Do your research to make sure you're not getting like a piece of crap someone said it was like new and you got it and it looks 10 years old. So I really feel like pre-loved, you're gonna have to do some research. But if you are wanting to, you know, go this route because, hey, this is what your finances will allow, totally understandable, but do your research. For me personally, if I was shopping pre-loved, really Fashion File is the only place I would consider when we're thinking about on the internet. Maybe on Instagram, I would consider buying, let's just say one of my, you know, favorite YouTubers, Brwngirlluxe, let's just name her. She does bag sales on her Instagram all the time. Chase Amy, her Instagram is, or Amy Chase, one of the two. She's in, I think, like the UK somewhere, and she does bag sales. I think she has a page where she does like closet sales. So if I was buying pre-loved, you know, that would be an option I would be comfortable with because I know these people. I've been watching them for years. So I know they're buying authentic pieces. They often show receipts. Oftentimes when they do post the items, they give all the details. You know, they let you know it's a mark on the corner, or, you know, this is that, or, you know, this is on this. They're giving you the full rundown on the item. So I would feel comfortable to buy something from them, but just buying it from a random person on the internet that, you know, doesn't have any kind of backing, YouTube, blog, nothing like that, I would be a little bit hesitant. But if you are someone that's thinking, hey, I want to give it a try, hey, make sure you just go get it authenticated if you want to. Overall, there's going to be several different factors to consider when you're thinking about buying luxury items and thinking of ways to get those items without going into any debt. Again, you're just going to really have to assess your lifestyle to determine what works best for you. Don't feel bad if it takes you a year to save for your first luxury designer item. Trust me when I say it's okay. Again, this is something that you don't have to have. It's something that you clearly just really, really want. But if you really, really want it, making those sacrifices, making adjustments to your lifestyle, updating your budget, doing all of those things won't be hard if it's something you truly want. So definitely think about all of the things that I spoke on today. If you have more questions for me or need to know, you know, well, what should I be shopping for? Or what bag do you think? I have several videos on my channel of bags under $1,000, bags under $2,000, bags under $1,500. I have several different videos and I'll link them down below because you can go check those out. Obviously, some bags have changed prices. So some of the bags when I recorded the videos were one price and they're now another price. But really go out there and search. I'm thinking I may do a video on like luxury handbags that I really like that are under a certain price point. They don't have to be bags that I have. It could be bags that I've just seen and thought would be great. So maybe I'll put a video out like that so you all can just see and just determine like, okay, what's out there that I can really afford to get without going into debt. But I thank you all so much for watching this video. Again, this is something I wanted to do for a while, but you know, it just wasn't coming together for me. But today, this is something I had to film for you all because I just feel like a lot of people, you know, have luxury designer items. Like, they just have this thought that, oh, you have to have this, you have to have that. If you save your money, you work hard, you're gonna get all the things you want. There's no question about that. I thank you all so much for watching and supporting me. Please don't forget to like this video, comment down below, you know, what your first handbag was. When you got it, did you have to save up? Let me know all the details. Subscribe to my channel and share this video with your family and friends. I'll see you all in my next one.